Good morning. This is Gary Lawrence. I have in front of me a student page in Canvas. We're going to talk today about peer reviews. The peer reviews are an extension of your drafts in Canvas. They aren't separate steps. We have separate steps as assignments, but the Canvas, they are one step. So here is a student module list of assignments. This happens to be about a narrative essay. And where we want to look for our peer reviews is in the draft. So we're going to click on that assignment. Notice that the peer reviews have already been assigned. Because you know that because the draft assignment was locked. It gets locked because Canvas needs to assign the peer reviews, but it can only do that after the drafts are turned in. So that's why it's so important to turn your draft in on time. If you don't turn in a draft, it won't get assigned to a peer review and you won't be able to participate. So this is the normal narrative essay draft assignment. The peer review information is over here in the right-hand column. This student did his or her job, turned in their submission. Great, got the green check. These are the details of their assignment. This is their file. They happen to get a very good grade. When your peer reviews are part of your draft assignment, they will show up here over in the right hand side. It has a little yellow, says it's incomplete. It has the student's name of that particular draft. So these students are authors that the student example we're using is going to review. There are 2 reviews each. Remember, the student is in their draft assignment. They came to the right-hand side. We're going to click on this one because it happens to be done. We're going to click on the blue underline. And here you notice up at the top it says peer review. It says that they finished the step for this peer review, which is great. This column is where the comments are. Let me drag this down so you can see it all. This is the file itself. Notice it's a doc file. There's the name of the author. Notice it keeps confidentiality. The only ones that see these comments normally, if they're not starring in a video, would be the student who wrote the paper and the student who's reviewing the paper. Some nice comments here, very supportive. That's great. Remember, we use the peer review form. This student opened up this draft, read the draft, and then completed their peer review form. And they attached it to this review using this function. They wrote their comments in here. They attached their file using that function. They saved it. So that the result, the person that wrote the paper will see this comment that was saved by the reviewer. They'll see who the reviewer was, and they'll see the peer review form that the reviewer fills out. Let's take a look at that. We say, okay, we want it Microsoft Word. It's downloading. I'm using Firefox. Here's the peer review form, which was attached to the draft assignment. It's also attached to the peer review assignments. Here's the instructions. Here again, this reviewer did their job. They wrote down who the author was of this paper they're reviewing. They wrote down the title. They wrote down the assignment. It's the narrative draft. They could have put their name here as the reviewer number 1. Notice how they addressed each point. They addressed the things they liked. They made a suggestion for improvement. They addressed each of these key elements: grammar, organization and structure, continuity, flow, unity, logic, critical thinking. The assignment details, we're all experts on it, right? We did the same assignment. Total unified effect, how did it all go together? Gave a nice summary statement here. That's how you fill this form out. It's a Word form, and you attach it using the function under the review. Here we are, back at the review. Remember how it went. Let's look at the second one. Okay, we have to go back to the draft assignment. That's the only weird thing in here, is that you're doing peer review that's part of the draft assignment. Here's that second reviewer. We'll click on that because there isn't anything here yet. Remember the process? That's what you're going to do. It says this peer review isn't finished yet. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to open that file up. We're going to read it once as a reader. We're going to read it once as a writer. We're going to write our comments over here. We're going to fill out our peer review form. Then we're going to attach our file, that peer review form, using this function. And when we save it, we'll have words in our comment. We'll have our review form attached. When we save it, it sends that group of information, our comments, and our peer review form to the author. Now, of course, as an author, you're going to be getting the same thing. Someone's going to be doing the same thing for you. So you're going to be looking for your comments, your peer review forms to come back to you in either the draft assignment or as part of your inbox as messages. Probably wherever you get the comments that I might make when I'm grading your papers. Okay, so that's the process for peer review. We will be following that process for every peer review that we do. Remember, like I said, the tricky part is that it's always in the draft, narrative draft, or the draft assignment. Peer review is an extension of that. Where do you go for it? You go to modules. Click on the draft assignment. Okay? Any questions? Let me know. Thanks.